Hey guys, I'm Lucy and welcome to my channel, Silver Chick. On this channel, you will find all things faith, fashion, health, and life stories. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. Today's story is about finding joy and being happy no matter what the situation is you're going through. There's joy. Joy comes from within. Happiness and joy is not found on the outside. It is on the inside of you where the Holy Spirit lives. So each morning you get up, you have to acknowledge and say to yourself, today is the day that the Lord has made, and I am going to find joy and happiness in this day. And stand on that and walk by faith, and this will take you through the day, no matter what you face. You're not going to let it control you or determine how you feel and whether you're going to be happy in this day or not. So today I want to share a story with you this week that I had to pull on that same thing that I'm telling you. So this month marks my 3rd year anniversary for my transplant that I had in 2021. I've been going back to the clinic, the transplant clinic, every 6 months since about maybe 2 years ago. The first year you go regularly. When you get into the second year, they start reduce the number of times that you come. So during the second year, I started going every 6 months. And the third year, which is this year, I went twice a month. No, twice a year. Sorry. So November is my anniversary. So this is my second time going this year for lab. And this will be my last year in which I go see them twice a year. Next year, I only see them once and that's it. And I'm followed regularly by an outside nephrologist. I see him every 3 months to get labs done. So when I went in to get my lab work done and to see the PA and the doctor, because the PA comes in first and the PA goes over your last labs, talk to you, see how you're feeling, review all your medications, and if there are any symptoms or anything that you want to go over, talk about, and you ask your questions at that time. So after she and I met and we went over everything, she goes and she briefs the doctor, and the doctor comes in. So the doctor comes in, he's, how you doing? He looks at the labs, he introduces himself because he's a new doctor. He's part of the team, but he wasn't my regular doctor that I saw over the last 3 years. I guess they rotate shifts or something because he was new to me, but he's not new on the team. So we were talking and he explained to me that earlier when I went in May, one of my labs came back a little off, and they had called me and prescribed another medication for me to take. So I've been on it since May of this year. So he mentioned to me the reason why they put me on that medication, and we talked about it a little bit. And he went on to mention to me that whatever the problem that I had that caused my kidneys to fail the first time, it could come back. Not that it will, but it could come back. So they monitor for that also through the blood work. They saw a little something in May, and that's what made them put me on that medication to stop whatever it was that looked like something that could possibly be starting up. So right there, when he told me that, you know what the urge is now. The urge is for me to go and worry because I used to be a worrier. I used to be in bondage with fear. Fear held me for many, many years. I lived my life in fear. It prevented me from enjoying life to the fullest because I've always had the mindset that what if this happens? What if that happens? That kind of thing. So I need to be prepared for, just living in that kind of like delusional state or whatever you want to call it. But when he told me that, and, our visit was over, I immediately said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to entertain that. I am going to hear what he's saying, but I'm not going to fret about it. I'm not going to worry about that. I reminded myself that, you know what? God has brought me through so many things over my lifetime. If he was planning on, you know, bringing the situation back that caused me to get into failure, why would he give me an organ in 2021? It would have been easier just not to give it to me and have me still on the waiting list. This is how I looked at it. And I'm like, you know what? God is not going to bring me this far to throw me back to 2019 and prior. He's not going to do that. Because if that was the case, he wouldn't have brought me this far and given me this gift. So I stood and I said, you know what? I'm not worrying. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. I'm not going to worry about the unknown, the unseen, the what ifs. I'm not going there. And I surrendered that to him at that moment. And I left the appointment. I see them again in another year. And I was happy when I left out of there. I had all my blood work done. You know, I know that they're on my side. That's my team. They brought me this far. And I went to work. I was happy. I chose joy. I chose happiness. And I said, this battle is not mine. The Lord is going to fight this. I'm not going to sit here and worry about labs. I'm not going to do any of that. And I made up my mind. So I went to work. I had a great day. That was on Thursday. Friday, I got up. I went to bed that night. Thursday night, I didn't think about it. I didn't entertain it. I got up Friday. I got ready. I went to work. I enjoyed my day. And, you know, during the course of Thursday afternoon, like I want to say maybe about 2 to 3 hours after I left the office, the labs started to come in because with the way it's set up, you guys probably already know, there's this thing called MyConnect that a lot of the hospitals use. And they will email you when the labs start to come in. You know, there's a lab results test. I'm getting all of this throughout the day on Thursday. I didn't even bother to go in there. I said, you know what? I'm not going to look. I'm not going in there. I'm not looking at any lab results. I'm not doing it. So Thursday, went through the day. Thursday, you know, went to bed, woke up Friday. Same thing. I'm going my merry way. I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing happiness because that is what the Lord said. Enjoy your day. Every day he gives you, enjoy it. So at around sometime in the afternoon, I got a phone call from the nurse. And the nurse was like, not the nurse, but the PA, because you know there's a big difference with that. So the PA says to me, oh, the labs are great. Everything is good. Nothing to worry about. There is no, whatever they saw in the blood when they took it, that in May, while they put me on that medication, it's not there anymore. It's stopped, whatever it was. But I'm going to still stay on it, you know, as a prevention because it's a small dose. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. So she wanted me to go back because there's a lab work that they monitor. You know, they with transplant, they monitor every single thing. There are some things with the lab work that needs to be abnormal, you know, which is normal because they caused it to be abnormal to prevent the organ from you know, from rejecting them. Let's put it that way. So those things, when it says normal, abnormal, it's normal. There's one of the tests that she wanted me to retake again in 3 weeks because they just wanted to make sure that from May, that last lab test that I took, to this one, they wanted me to do it again in 3 weeks to make sure that that number is still steady where it was a few months ago. This past Thursday, they just want to make sure that it didn't drop or rise. It just needs to stay steady. So I said, good. So I told her I would go back to the hospital. They put in the labs and I'm going to head on over there in 3 weeks and I'm not going to worry about it. You know, I'm going to choose joy every day because the things that we choose to worry about are things that are beyond our control. You know, there's a lot of things in life that we need divine intervention to take care of it. These are things that you cannot see and you don't know about. You need God to fight that battle for you, to prepare the way, to make everything right for you. So when you get to that point, everything will be in place where it needs to be. So remember, joy comes from within. The worry, the fretting, the putting off life, waiting for that perfect day, trying to fix things and prepare. You can't do that alone. You need God. I prepared for years, thinking I was preparing for the worst to come. And you know what? All that preparation, when I had a challenge, this challenge here with organ failure, all that preparation I did not even play into this whole scene. I was preparing for nothing because everything I did back then had nothing to do with the current thing that happened in 2021. So I wasted all this time doing this. So, I get up every day and I say, this is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be happy in it. And that's what we all need to do. It's a hard thing though, because I do understand, every now and then my mind just wants to go back and start to think of and worry. But, you got to be self-aware of that, and you can control it. You're self-aware. You know when you're heading that way. Pull it back. Put your mind somewhere else. Think of the goodness of God. Think of where he's brought you from, the things that you've gone through, and he's rescued you, and he's taken you from those situations and where you are now. That will remind you that God is working for you behind the scenes. You don't need to worry and you don't need to fret. Live life and remember that joy comes from within. Trust God and just live that life that he has prepared for us, that he has given us. Okay? And let him fight the battle. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you like the message, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And I will see you again in the next video. Bye.